Welcome to Scary King, where we dive into the most terrifying moments ever caught on camera. Tonight, we journey into the abyss of fear itself, exploring the dark corners of reality where terror reigns supreme. Get ready to be spooked as we count down the top 5 scariest moments that will send chills down your spine. These are the stories that claw at the edges of your mind long after the lights go out. The ones that make you question if you're truly alone in the dark. Imagine a place devoid of life, a hollow shell where laughter and light were once abundant. Now silence reigns within these decaying walls, punctuated only by the drip, drip, drip of water echoing through the emptiness. This is not just any building left to decay. This is an abandoned hospital, a place where life came to an end, and for some, it never left. Our story takes us deep into the heart of this forsaken place, where a group of explorers ventured with cameras in hand, seeking a glimpse into the unknown. Little did they know the unknown was waiting for them. As they navigated the labyrinthine corridors, each step punctuated by the crunching of debris underfoot, a sense of unease settled upon them. The air grew cold, a bone-chilling cold that seeped into their very core. And then it happened. A flicker of movement in the distance, a white mist coalescing near the end of the hallway. A chill shot down their spines as they realized they were not alone. They pressed on, drawn by an unseen force, their cameras rolling, capturing every spine-tingling second. The figure in the distance grew more distinct, a translucent form, its edges blurred yet undeniably human. It moved with an eerie grace, gliding toward them, its feet never seeming to touch the ground. Panic surged through the group as the apparition drew nearer, its empty eyes seemingly boring into their souls. For a fleeting moment, the world stood still. Then, as quickly as it appeared, the ghostly figure vanished, leaving behind nothing but an icy silence and the overwhelming scent of decay. We venture now from the cold, sterile halls of the abandoned hospital into the supposed safety of a family home. This is where we lay our heads, where we feel most secure, most ourselves. But what happens when the sanctuary of home becomes a prison of fear, tormented by unseen forces with a sinister agenda? It began subtly, almost imperceptibly, like a whisper in the dead of night. A door creaking open, seemingly on its own, a child's toy springing to life in the stillness. The unsettling feeling of being watched, of not being alone. At first, they dismissed it as their imaginations, tricks of the light, the house settling. But as the days turned into sleepless nights, the incidents grew bolder, more aggressive. Objects moved mysteriously, flung across the room by an unseen hand. Whispers filled the darkness, disembodied voices that sent shivers down their spines. The children were plagued by nightmares, their innocent minds unable to comprehend the darkness that had invaded their home. One evening, amidst the escalating chaos, the family decided to set up cameras, hoping to capture evidence of the unseen force tormenting them. What they captured sent chills down their spines and left them in no doubt that they were dealing with something sinister. In the dead of night, a vase flew across the living room, shattering against the wall with bone-jarring force. A door slammed shut with a deafening boom, despite no drafts or open windows. The footage captured it all, the chilling evidence of a family held captive in their own home by an unseen entity, a poltergeist, feeding off their fear, growing stronger with each passing moment. From the shadows of a family's nightmare, we emerge into the unsettling reality of a community living in fear. This is a story about a figure that should represent joy, laughter, and innocent fun, but instead has been twisted into something sinister, something that sends shivers down your spine. This, my friends, is the story of the creepy clown. It began with whispers, rumors of a lone figure lurking in the shadows, a flash of white makeup and a grotesquely exaggerated smile spotted in the dead of night. At first it was dismissed as a prank, teenagers sowing chaos for their own amusement. But as the sightings became more frequent, the fear grew, seeping into the heart of the community like a virus. The clown was always seen in the distance, a fleeting glimpse of something unsettling, something not quite right. It never spoke, never made a sound. Its presence alone enough to send chills down the spines of those unfortunate enough to cross its path. Then the videos started to surface, grainy footage captured on cell phones and security cameras, of the clown standing motionless in the shadows, its painted smile a horrifying mockery of joy. One video in particular sent shockwaves through the community. It showed the clown standing in the middle of a deserted road in the dead of night, its eyes reflecting the headlights of an approaching car. As the car drew nearer, the clown didn't move, didn't flinch. It simply stood there, its smile widening as if inviting the driver to join it in its twisted game. The driver, understandably terrified, slammed on the brakes, the screeching tires echoing through the stillness of the night. When they looked back, the clown was gone, vanished into thin air as quickly as it had appeared. The community was in an uproar. Parents kept their children indoors, afraid to let them out of their sight. We descend now into the bowels of a house, into the space where fear takes root and nightmares are born. The basement. This is a place shrouded in darkness, where the air is thick with the musty scent of forgotten things and the faintest hint of something else. Our next story takes us to the home of a man who made a chilling discovery in the depths of his basement. A discovery that would leave him questioning his sanity and forever change his perception of the world around him. It began subtly, a feeling of unease whenever he ventured down the creaky wooden stairs into the dimly lit basement. He would catch glimpses of movement out of the corner of his eye, a flicker of darkness that vanished as quickly as it appeared. He dismissed it at first, attributing it to his imagination, to the way the shadows danced in the flickering light of the bare bulb hanging from the ceiling. But then he started hearing things, soft shuffling footsteps echoing in the darkness, the distinct feeling of being watched, of being followed by something unseen. One evening, armed with a flashlight and a growing sense of dread, he decided to investigate. He descended into the basement, each step punctuated by the creaking of the aging wood beneath his feet. The air hung heavy and still, the silence broken only by the pounding of his own heart. He swept the beam of his flashlight across the cluttered space, his heart pounding in his chest. And then he saw it. In the far corner of the basement, partially obscured by a dusty old sheet, was a figure. It was tall and slender, its form almost human, yet distorted, as if viewed through a funhouse mirror. It was impossibly dark, a void in the shape of a man, and it seemed to pulsate with an energy that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. He froze, his breath catching in his throat, his mind struggling to comprehend what his eyes were seeing. The figure remained motionless for a moment, as if studying him, its presence radiating an aura of pure malice. Then, with a suddenness that made him jump back in terror, it moved. It glided across the floor, its feet not seeming to touch the ground, its form shifting and swirling like smoke in the wind. From the depths of a darkened basement, we emerge into the seemingly innocent world of childhood toys. But beware, for even the most innocuous objects can become vessels of terror, their painted smiles hiding a darkness that chills the soul. Our final story revolves around a haunted doll, a porcelain plaything with a sinister secret and a terrifying hold over its owner. This is not a story for the faint of heart, for it delves into the darkest corners of the supernatural, where objects hold power and the line between reality and nightmare blurs. The doll, with its rosy cheeks, ruby red lips and vacant blue eyes, was a gift, passed down through generations of a family who seemed oblivious to the darkness that resided within its porcelain shell. To the untrained eye, it was nothing more than a child's toy, but to those who dared to look closer, there was something unsettling about its unwavering gaze, something sinister lurking beneath its painted smile. The current owner, a young woman named Sarah, inherited the doll from her grandmother, who warned her of its strange tendencies, of the way its eyes seemed to follow you around the room, of the whispers that seemed to emanate from its glass case. Sarah at first dismissed her grandmother's warnings as the ramblings of an old woman, but as time went on, she began to experience strange and unsettling phenomena that she couldn't explain. Objects in her home would move on their own, lights would flicker and die, and she would often wake in the dead of night to the sound of soft, childlike laughter coming from the corner of her room where the doll sat perched on a shelf. Desperate for answers, Sarah set up cameras around her home, hoping to capture evidence of the strange occurrences plaguing her. The footage she captured sent chills down her spine and left her with no doubt that the doll was the source of the terrifying event. In one video, the doll's head slowly turned to follow Sarah as she moved about the room, its vacant eyes seemingly burning into her. In another, the doll, which had been left lying on the bed, was found standing upright in the middle of the floor, its arms outstretched as if beckoning her closer. As the days turned into sleepless nights, the doll's hold over Sarah grew stronger, its presence suffocating, its vacant eyes watching her every move. Thanks for watching Scary King. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-chilling content. Remember, the shadows hold secrets, and the things that go bump in the night are always listening. Stay safe, and remember, the scariest things often happen when you least expect them.